Welcome back to Get Connected. I'm your host, Conn Jackson. This is our segment we call Get in Touch. And with teen gay suicides on the rise, we thought it was very important to have our next author with us. He's written a best-selling book, It Gets Better. His name is Dan Savage, and he joins us now. Welcome, Dan.
Hey, Conn.
Hey, Dan. Well, it's great having you with us. But I've got to say, for a writer, you're looking pretty good on camera today.
Oh, flattery will get you everywhere.
Well, Dan, man, it is simply the truth. Can you just share with me and our audience a little bit more about this project you're part of called It Gets Better?
It's a video project, a video campaign, and now a book reaching out to LGBT youth who may be bullied and isolated and in despair, letting them know that it does indeed get better. There's a lot of queer kids out there who know that there are happy, successful, loved, reconciled to families that may have rejected them initially, gay adults out there, but they don't know how you get to be that gay adult. They don't know how you go from being that bullied queer kid to that successful, happy gay adult. And what the project is designed to do is illuminate that path, is to let them know how you make it, how you do it. You know, a kid who's bullied because of his race or religion goes home to parents of the same race, same religion, who can help them. And that kid may feel free to open up to about the bullying that they're facing or their struggle. Queer kids all too often go home to families who are also bullying them, families that have rejected them, and parents who are hostile to them. And they need our stories. They need to hear from LGBT adults about how we made it, how we coped, how we made it better for ourselves, and how we got through middle school, how we got through high school, how we got on with our lives. And that's what the video campaign is designed to do, and now the book.
Well, Dan, I'm glad you're part of such a wonderful campaign. I can only imagine how hard it was getting bullied at school and then going home to the same type of abuse. Well, I know this book has a lot about your struggles and coming out to your mom. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
You know, when I came out to my mom, she said that she could maybe learn to live with it. But she could never be with a boyfriend. She never wanted to meet any of my boyfriends. And we went from that pretty quickly to being embraced fully by my family to, you know, on her deathbed, my mother told me to tell my husband, Terry, that she loved him like a daughter-in-law, which was beautiful. You know, it was her sort of ironic Irish Catholic sense of humor way of saying she didn't see him any differently being a man than she would have if he was my wife. And you know, our families both came around. Terry was very brutally bullied in school, beaten up constantly, and just brutalized, but has gone on to have a rich and rewarding and full life. And those are the stories we wanted to share. You know, kids who kill themselves because they're gay, part of what they're saying is they can't picture futures with enough joy in them to compensate for the pain they're in now. So what a lot of the videos do is people share the stories of their joy now, their pain then, their fears then, the rejection and hostility they encountered in middle school and high school, at the hands of their peers, and tragically all too often at the hands of their families, and their joy now, and the acceptance that they've found from new peers, or from old peers who came around, and from family members who came around. And that's so important for LGBT kids to know, and for LGBT kids, particularly those who are feeling despair, to hear those stories can save a life.
Well, Dan, it's truly wonderful that you are sharing the joy and acceptance that you have found with all the LGBT kids. Turning our attention to the videos, I know you all started this with the help of a few amazing people. Tell us who you got it started with.
You know, the first 1,000 videos were from average, ordinary, everyday LGBT people that no one's heard of until they contributed their videos and many of them essays in the book. The project was always about those stories. Most kids who are queer are going to grow up to be average, ordinary LGBT adults. But pretty quickly after that first burst of videos, we started getting videos from celebrities, Keisha and Lady Gaga and Ellen and Zachary Quinto and Vinny from Jersey Shore, and then videos from, you know, Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama, the Prime Minister of Great Britain, the President of Finland, politicians all over the world, and the highest profile politician on the planet, Barack Obama. Jumped in and spoke out and spoke directly to LGBT kids, letting them know that they're on their side, that the president is on your side. The president doesn't think there's anything wrong with you. There's something wrong with the people who are picking on you. And that was tremendously moving. You know, I remember the AIDS crisis, the AIDS epidemic in the 80s. Tens of thousands of Americans had died before Ronald Reagan. It took him 7 years to say the words AIDS out loud before Ronald Reagan would even talk about it. Tens of thousands of Americans were dead. Barack Obama jumped in 3 weeks and made an It Gets Better video and reached out to bullied and suicidal LGBT kids to let them know that he was on their side. That all by itself is evidence of how much better it has gotten for us.
Well, Dan, I am impressed. That is simply incredible and moving. Given your struggle, which you share so well in the book, what advice can you give to parents of LGBT kids to be more supportive?
My advice to parents who are supportive is to march into your schools, into your children's schools, and let those administrators and teachers know that you're paying attention and that if they have a responsibility to provide your child with a safe learning environment, that school needs a gay-straight alliance, and that you're watching, and that if your child is discriminated against because they're LGBT, your first call is going to be to the ACLU, and your second call is going to be to the school. And if your child is bullied or brutalized or assaulted in the school, your first call is going to be to the police, not the principal. You know, a kid who beats up a little old lady in a shopping mall gets arrested. A 15-year-old kid who beats up an old lady in a shopping mall gets arrested. A 15-year-old kid who beats up a 12-year-old kid in a middle school or high school, that kid should get arrested too, and communicate to the school that that's what you'll do. If you're a homophobic parent with a gay child or a lesbian, bi, trans kid, what you need to understand is you can't bully your gay kid out of being gay. You can bully your gay kid out of being. A kid who's LGBT is at 4 times greater risk of suicide. If the family is hostile, that suicide risk doubles, 8 times greater risk of suicide. And it won't ultimately make your kid not gay. Your homophobia, your hostility, your rejection, it will not make your kid straight. It could make your kid dead. Don't make that mistake. Don't wake up one day tragically with blood on your hands because you rejected your gay child and he took his own life. Be his ally. Love your child more than you love your bigotry.
Well, Dan, that is a powerful, moving message. We appreciate your help and support. Given the tremendous success that you have found, what advice would you give to any of us out there living out our dreams?
Just to look around. You know, sometimes people are surrounded by not very nice people. And what you need to remember is there are 7 billion other people on the planet. And you can, maybe not when you're in high school, when you're in middle school, but the second you're out, you can surround yourself with new people. You can find better peer groups. You can find better environments. You can find a better city to live in, a more tolerant place, a bigger place usually for LGBT people is going to be a more tolerant place. So don't lead yourself to believe that life is high school. Life ain't high school, and it does get better for everyone, not just the LGBT kids. Not just LGBT kids are bullied. Life gets better for everyone because people make it better for themselves. People change their circumstance. People find new peer groups, careers, and if your family ultimately doesn't come around, people create new families for themselves, and you have the power to do that for yourself.
Dan, great message. You're a true inspiration. Thanks again, and congratulations on the book, and we look forward to connecting with you again soon.
Thank you for having me.
That was incredibly powerful stuff. I particularly like Dan's advice that we make life better when we decide to make life better for ourselves. While speaking about creating new experiences, our next guest stumbled upon a natural resource that turned them from living on welfare to billionaires. Who am I talking about? Stay tuned.
The gas company come in here and say, hey, we're going to put a gas well back here on your place. We didn't much care for it at the time.
So glad you got to check out that clip. But listen, we've got plenty more going on here at Get Connected, our TV show. My friend and I are going to give you a glimpse of all the fun, so take it away.
The sun shines bright as it moves across my face. I feel the light and everything is in its place. Oh, I woke up feeling great. Today was made for me. And life is good the way it should, the way it was meant to be.
Well, join us and we'll get you in the know. Check us out at Get Connected at conntv.com and be part of the movement.